Okay, so in this example, this is what we're given. This is the information we're given, and we need to find this missing angle here. Okay, this, if we draw an imaginary line here, this also forms a right angle triangle, right? What would be helpful? What would be the first thing that we should find? So we actually have 1, 2, 3 right angle triangles and 1 acute triangle. The acute triangle is in orange. What is possible to find right now? What is the only dimension that we could find? I forgot, we also have a right angle triangle here, and we also have a Z pattern. This is a Z pattern. So if this is 75, do you know this angle? 75, good. So we have a right angle triangle inside here. Okay, I'm going to draw this over here. 75 degrees, and this is 750. Can you find, let's call this Y. Can we find Y?
Yeah.
Using what? It's a right angle triangle. What are we going to use here? SOHCAHTOA or sine law or cosine law? SOHCAHTOA, good. So let's label the sides. In relation to this angle, what is this side? Where is this side located? In relation to the angle given. This is adjacent or opposite or hypotenuse? Good. And Y is what? Okay, hypotenuse. So what are we going to use? Which ratio? So sine, cos, or tan? Good. Sine 75 equals what? Opposite over Y. Solve for Y. Okay, when we solve for Y, cross multiply, and we get Y equals 776. How will that help us now? Orange triangle now, okay? Look at the orange triangle. It's an acute triangle. I'm going to call this X. We have a side length, and an angle in between. Which ratio are we going to use? I mean, which equation are we going to use to solve for X? When you have 2 sides and an angle in between, what do you use? Cosine law. Good. Okay, so now we're going to use cosine law. We had angle 75 degrees. We just found Y was 776 meters approximately. We were given this length, 2,000 meters. Now we're going to find X, because we're trying to find the angle above that. So this is going to help us find the angle. Okay, so cosine law. Let's call this C. So X will be what?
C.
Good. Let's call this A. This is A, B, B. Cosine law. C squared equals A squared plus B squared minus 2AB cos C. We're solving for C, so we're going to plug in the values. What's A? 2,000 squared plus 776 squared minus 2. I'm running out of space. Times 776 times cos angle C is 75 degrees. I ran out of space, okay? Using cosine law, we find that C is equal to approximately 1,949 meters, okay? So let's go back to your original diagram and fill that in. Okay, so this is 1,949 meters. We need to find which angle. This question was asking us to find which angle in the diagram. What color is it? The pink angle, this one. There is another Z pattern. So if we can figure out this angle, then we know that angle, right? Can you figure out this angle here? So again, I'm just pulling out this part of the triangle. We don't know this. We know that the entire thing was 2,000, but we don't know how far this is. But we do know, from the whole thing was 2,000. We're just working with this triangle here, right?
It's disappearing.
But we have an angle, and we have 2 side lengths. Okay, this is a right angle triangle. Can we use SOHCAHTOA? Let's label our sides. In relation to this angle, where is this located? Hypotenuse. Where is this located? Can we use SOHCAHTOA? We have the opposite and the hypotenuse, and we need to figure out the angle. So let's use the sine. Let's use sine. So sine, we don't know the angle, equals what? Opposite over hypotenuse. Okay, what's the next step? We're trying to find an angle. Can we simplify this? What is 750 divided by 1,949? 0.3848, rounded off to 4 decimal places. And the missing angle, we're going to use the inverse function, round it to the nearest degree. What do you got? So approximately, let's do nearest degree, 23 degrees. Okay, let's go back to the original diagram again. Okay, we just found that this is 23 degrees. Therefore, what is this angle? And the question was asking, what is the angle of depression? So therefore, the angle is approximately 23 degrees.
Made with Doodlecast Pro.